Okay, guys, I have decided what we're going to do for the brakes here on the XJ750. I'm going to waste some brake fluid, but we're going to put fresh new brake fluid in here. I'm going to disconnect it down here at the caliper. So we just got to get down there to the banjo bolt, knock that off. It's probably a 12, I think. And we're going to chase it down through the line. So we're actually going to chase good fluid from here and send it down the line until it comes out clean. That way we're not putting it into the calipers. So what we're probably going to end up doing then is taking the calipers off and manually taking them apart and cleaning those, because I don't think I want to put anything down in through there that isn't new fluid. So anyway, what I'm going to do right now is actually just get the good fluid down to the calipers. We're going to chase the old fluid out the line. I honestly can't believe this. I was pumping this and then cracking the banjo bolt. What you do, if you haven't seen me do this before, or if you haven't seen anybody do it. So I was beginning to think that our seals and such were probably shot in the master, as they should be, right? So put fresh fluid in there, and I was pumping this, trying to get air out of here. I even disconnected this and felt that there is suction at the banjo bolt, which is great. So I primed it there, and I put it back on. I was priming it, and it just kept going to the bar. And now we must have had to just get things floating in there, just warm up those seals again, because now I can't even get it to the bar. And it has built up pressure. So there's a good chance this is going to be okay. Saving that one was a surprise. I was about to go and see what I could find as far as replacement parts to rebuild this. But it looks like for now, this has built pressure. And now we have pressure in here. And like I said, we need to chase the old fluid down through the system. But we now have the master cylinder primed. That's giving great pressure here, amazingly enough. And so now from here to here, we're good. Now new fluid will start to flow down through the line. So next thing is we got to find the next joint. And I know I said I was going to disconnect the lines, but I think I might just chase this fluid through the calipers, because that's a cleaner, easier way to do it. We can just break the bleeder valve open and go from there. So much grossness around here. So that's what we're going to do next. Here we go. We got 8mm wrench on there, so we can pop that banjo bolt, or I'm sorry, bleeder bolt open. And we have it hooked up here, so our old fluid can come out when we open it. So what we're going to do, pump up the volume. Now that we have pressure at the top, we're going to pump that up, hold it, crack this, let fluid come out, shut it, pump it up again, let fluid come out, shut it, and run this out until we have clear fluid coming out of here. That worked exactly as it should. See, this is what we pushed out. It's brown and dirty. Now you're going to want to watch your top. Make sure the level in here doesn't drop down too far. You want to keep this topped up so that you don't run out of fluid here, because then you're just going to push air down through the line. But for now, you see what dirty fluid came out. That means the whole system is pressurized, and we're doing good. You can see this is drippy here. I think that's from when I was just cracking it without a line and it was running down. So I should clean that up. But I think we're not leaking. It's just from before. So now I'm pumping up the pressure again. I'm going to crack this open, watch the fluid come out. The handle up here will slowly go to the bar. When I get there, I'll shut this down so it's locked again. And then if I let this free like this with that open, it's going to suck air from down there, and then we're going to put air in the line. So make sure you pump this up. See, I got full pressure now again. I will open this up, watch the fluid come out, shut it when I get to the bar, and then I can let the lever free. I'm going to do this until I see clean fluid. Now, you're probably wondering, so this line comes down from the master, comes down here, and then it gets here, and then here is another, this is a splitter, so that goes to this side and it goes to the opposite side. So I have to do both calipers. But right now we're putting the new fluid down through here, and then we'll have to do the same thing on the other side to get the new fluid down through to the other side. All right, see, our level's down, so we have to add some new fluid. Did that about 3 or 4 times. And to be honest, it looks like the fluid's actually pretty clean now. And we're not getting any air bubbles. We never really opened up that line to let air bubbles in, so it seems like everything's working pretty good. And I think we have good clean fluid down through there already, which kind of surprises me, so I'm wondering if there is something wrong. The other thing I realized is this float is actually an electronic monitor to let you know, I believe, if your brake fluid's low. So that might actually be something with the computer that will be working now, since this is actually risen up. Probably just said front brakes on the computer, and now that this is up, we probably, there's a hair in there, we probably won't have that as a warning anymore if it works. Now you can definitely see the first stuff that was being pushed out was really dark and gross. And now the stuff that's getting pushed out is getting lighter and lighter and actually looking pretty clean and decent. So I think we're probably done. Like I said, to do this properly, we should take off the caliper, push back the pistons, probably take it all apart. But I kind of want to just get this thing out and ride it. Yeah, we should look at the condition. Those actually don't look like good pads. That pad looks like it has no material left on it at all. Well, I guess we're probably going to be doing a brake service on this thing. Yeah, those look great. So anyway, let's go on to the other side. I got to figure out how to get over there. Move this bike around a little bit here. All right, since I actually overfilled this, I really put it up to the top. I just have the cap on it for now, and I noticed tightening down this screw, it doesn't actually get tight. So either this is stripped out or this screw is too small. So easily either one could be true. This one actually worked fine, so maybe I'll find a different screw for this. But anyway, we are pumped back up. Plenty of power, and I'm gonna have to use 2 hands for this. But we're set up on the other side. So now I'm pumped up, crack that, see what comes out. There's the first pump. Got some dirt, got a little bit of air, and some grimy fluid. So let's go for the second one. Before this gets to the bottle, I figured I'd show you what's come out in about 4 or 5 pumps. There's some dirt. Looks like this person was drinking their urine's just terribly gross. And now it's clean. And I think we're starting to turn into some good fluid. So I just thought I'd show you what came out so far. Well, I did get a little bit more dirt, but now it's just clean, clear fluid. See, our dirt should be stuck somewhere in the bottom here, or pushed through by now. So there we go. A little bit of dirt right there. Everything's looking good. And like I said, aside from putting new pads on here, and obviously cleaning out the brakes, it's pressurizing just fine and doing good. So I guess all we really need now is to put some gas in the tank, make sure that nothing's leaking, and go ride it. Need to go find the seat, pop that on, and hopefully everything's primed and ready to go. I'm sure I have a screw and the plate for this, but again, I have to find that. So everything, we just did a brake service. Obviously not a rebuild. We didn't rebuild anything. We just serviced it. I got to top off the fluid in here. Because I put so much in, I probably don't need to put a whole lot. But we chased all the old brake fluid out. There was a little bit of dirt in there in the lines, but luckily it was clean fluid. I mean, it was actually fluid coming out. So that's done. We have now serviced, quote unquote serviced, the front brake system. And should be pretty good to go. I don't know what this does. What does this do when you just turn it on? I guess you have to have it running for it to check off these warnings. Side stand, brake, oil, battery. Well, the battery's not going to work. Headlight, tail light, and fuel. Cool. Well, it'll be fun to get this thing out running. Let's get some fuel in it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Here's why I tell you to watch your reservoir. We're low. We don't want to get air into those two little dots down there. That's where your cylinder rolls through. We're low. We're not bad, but we're low. I'm going to get it up into this window. And I was filling it up past the window, so that's why it was leaking out when I turned the handlebars. Get it up enough that it is in that window and we'll be good to go.